Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mr. Protagonist here, and today I am going to show you basically how to do anything you want to do, really. I'm going to show you how to edit server files. I'm going to show you how to do some research. I'm going to show you pretty much everything that you need to know to accomplish anything worth accomplishing in either of our servers or any of our servers to come. So to start our quest, we are going to need FileZilla. Now if you don't have FileZilla, don't worry. All you have to do is Google FileZilla. Click FileZilla. Oh, look right there. Download the FileZilla client. You do not need the FileZilla server because you're not hosting anything. All you are is connecting to our server. So you just need the client. You just download the client. And then also make sure you have Notepad++. Now if you think to yourself, I have Notepad, why do I need Notepad++? Then you should just slap yourself in the face right now and download Notepad++. Because if you even think of editing our server files and config files in something other than Notepad++, I will strangle you myself. And that is not a lie. Let me show you why. I'll show you why in a little bit. Whatever. Okay. So, let's just say we downloaded FileZilla. We downloaded Notepad++. And if we're lucky, we also have Dropbox. But that's not really going to tie into this tutorial. So what you're going to do is you're going to need to grab yourself the FileZilla.xml file. This will be hosted in Dropbox. It will be hosted in the staff forums. You can ask any owner for it. Basically, this is your password and login information for all of our servers. So once you have FileZilla, you just open it up. And then if you do have the FileZilla XML, then you can just click File and Import and navigate to that file and import it. And once you've done that, if you click this little drop down arrow right here, you're going to see 3, maybe 2 servers if I edit it. Don't worry about this Harry server, I don't even know if it still works. Probably shouldn't have it. Nope, it doesn't work. So this is Feed the Beast obviously, and this is Metaverse. For this tutorial, I think I'm going to go ahead and just edit Metaverse. So, let's see here. Once you're in here, I don't really see any need for you to edit anything that is not in the plugins folder. Unless, for some reason, somebody's player file gets corrupt, then you would go in, like, if they log in and, like, overflow every time, or there's a wide variety of reasons you would need to delete somebody's player file, but that's in the vanilla folder, or in the world folder, yeah, the world folder, which is vanilla in our case, and players, and then you would find the player name and delete it. But bear in mind that that would delete their inventory and their experience, but they would still keep their balances and all the plugin information, mind you. But anyways, getting a little bit off topic here. So, you got FileZilla working, and you are now connected to the server. You're going to see 2 windows. On the left window, this is your computer, local site. It has a navigation right here. So if you're downloading plugins, then you'd probably want to be in your downloads folder, which is where I already happen to be. Hence all of these beautiful plugins and config files and whatnot. So anyways, let's just say I wanted to edit a group's permission. We would go into the corresponding plugins folder. Now these are the jar files. These are what actually makes the plugin work. So if I was to update a plugin, all I would do is type in okay, let's do Citizens for example. Now I know that we have the newest version because I just did this one today, but you would type in bucket because that's what we use. That is our plugin handler. Bucket citizens. Make sure you go to dev.bucket.org. That's where you want to be. And then this is the magical page that any staff member should be pleased to find themselves out, is the dev bucket page. Now on this page, you can have anything you pretty much want. You can look for developmental builds to see if they have an updated version that might fix a problem that we're having. You can get on their IRC. Most of these plugins have IRCs, like where the developers chill out, so you could hop on their IRC and ask them questions if you need to. Just try not to be too annoying. They don't like that. They have a wiki page, commands, and on the commands page, we should also be fortunate enough to, oh yep, look, permissions. So these are permission nodes. Every command any plugin has a permission node. It usually starts off with the name of the plugin and then a period, and then usually the staff/admin/op permissions have something like admin in front of it and then like .reload or something like that. But it looks like they just kind of conglomerated these up into one permission, which is just cool, I suppose. And then you find all your individual permissions here if you want to add people to do individual stuff. So let's just say I wanted to add the ability for VIP members to create an NPC. Now, what I'm going to do is look for NPC creates. I'll just search it. Creates a new. There it is. Okay, so here is our permissions. We have two different ones for create. You can create a mob, which is like an NPC creeper, or you can just create an NPC. And then just a little FYI, if you ever see an asterisk at the end, that basically means that there are other permissions below this one, but this encompasses all of those permissions. So if you were to have this asterisk up here, then VIP would basically be able to do all of these because they're all within the confines of citizens.npc. So if it was citizens.npc.asterisk, then they could pretty much do most of your basic NPC stuff. But anyways, getting off topic a little bit again. So we've got our permission. We're going to go ahead and copy it if I can grab it right. Although you don't always need to copy it, they're usually pretty easy to remember. And for this particular task, we are going to need to edit Group Manager. And a lot of this is knowing which plugin handles what. So if you don't know something, feel free to ask a staff member who does, because chances are somebody like Pumpkin or Blue or Ruby or Captain Stupid or myself, people know which plugins kind of do which things. No, it looks like a lot, but it's really not that many compared to what a lot of servers have. And a lot of these are extensions to other plugins. So, but anyways, getting off topic a little bit again. It's 8 AM and I haven't slept, so bear with me here. So we're going to go into Group Manager, which is our permissions/group plugin, worlds, and then I have it set up. Actually, I'll show you. I have it set up in the config that vanilla is our main world, and these are all the worlds that copy its group files. Well, its user and its group files. So if somebody gets bumped up a level in vanilla, then they get promoted basically in all of these worlds. If this wasn't set, then they would only get promoted in vanilla, and then when they went to the nether, they have no permissions, which, you know, has happened many times, and then I'm sure some of you are just like, ah, yeah, totally. But anyways, oh, something I need to point out here. Okay, you have a few options when you're doing this. Let's say I wanted to edit this. No, I'll do that with vanilla. So what I'm going to do is edit the groups. This is what holds all the individuals and their attached suffixes and whatnot. So if I want to edit this, I'm just going to right click it and do view and edit. Now some people prefer to drag this over to their computer, which this, if you drag it over, it copies it to your computer, and then you can edit it from here too. Either way, it's fine, but let me just show you this way. So if I edit it in this window, the actual server, then I could change something like, well, we'll change what I actually wanted to change. We will do Control F, search for VIP. Oh, no VIP. Oh, search down. Oh. Looking for VIP. Okay, there's VIP with a bunch of old permissions we don't even use, and misspelled one, Echo Poet. Fantastic. So we're going to just go ahead and delete those and paste our other permission, the one that we wanted to add to VIP. Now, spacing and formatting in these kind of YML files is crucial. And that is why we use Notepad++, is because it gives us these little lines that show us, you know, this is 4 spaces right here. And it gives us these nice color coding for this is like the parents of this and blah blah blah. If you're just in Notepad, let me show you the same file in Notepad. It's not a pretty sight. Open with Notepad. So that's basically your difference, and you can see why I won't let you touch it with anything other than Notepad++. Okay, now we're not going to talk about it again. I don't want to hear any debates. You're just going to use Notepad++, or you're not going to touch my shit. It's basically the gist of it. So anyways, I'm going to space it out properly. I'll note that there are no tabs allowed in any config files. You never use a tab. And if you're copying and pasting stuff, you need to click in the tab space in the middle and go down and up, make sure it doesn't lash to the side like that. So anyways, we've got our spacing. It's added to the VIP. We know we had the right perm because we actually researched it like intelligent people. And then if you click Control S, then click back on the FileZilla window, it'll say the file has been changed. Would you like to update and upload the server back to the file? And since I don't want VIPs to be able to do to create NPCs, I'm just going to go ahead and say no. But if you were to say yes, then it would upload it and magically be done. And all I would have to do is reload this plugin, which almost every plugin has its own little reload, which you could easily find. Just go to Group Manager Commands. Group Manager Commands. And I already know it, I'm just showing you. Man load. There you go. And there's the perm for it, which you will have if you are admin, I believe, or op, definitely op. And I might note that this video is not just for admins, and it's not just for ops, it's for any staff who plans on ever becoming one. They are welcome to study this video and kind of start at the lesser points of it, edit some files in Dropbox, show us they got what it takes, and we will give them the permissions to dive in like I am now. So anyways, we're done with this. We gave the VIP their permissions and it's all well and done. So then we would just go in server and do man load. All settings and worlds were reloaded. Ta-da! Absolutely fantastic. And if you ever need to know plugin names, or if you update a plugin, you need to see if it's working, you just do plugins, and it'll show you a list of all the plugins. And don't think that just because this is a big list and they're all the same color and whatever, it's hard to read. It's really not. We only have 44, which really is not that many. Like I said, most of these are extensions. There's like 7 essentials. Yeah. World Edit, World Guard, basically one and the same thing. This doesn't even exist. This isn't even working. You know, whatever. Voting kind of sinks into each other and whatnot. You get the point. But if you see the green on the name, that means the plugin is loaded and working fine. But if you see a red name, like if you update a plugin or something, or you're trying a different version, and you did plugins and you saw that this, let's say item renamer was in red, that means that that plugin was recognized, but it is not functioning as it should be. Sorry, I needed some coffee. Okay, let's see here. What else do I need to show you guys? I'll just give you a quick rundown, I suppose, of our plugins and which ones do what. So WorldGuard, and well, everybody knows what WorldEdit does, but WorldGuard basically just does little things such as handling of things like item frames and snow melting. It handles little physics. Basically, just think of it as altering Minecraft physics a little bit. You should never have to mess with WorldGuard. World border is what gives us the radius from spawn that you can't pass. We should probably expand this. But yeah, that's what makes it so it's pre-generated terrain, and we do not have to worry about people just flying in one direction and generating and causing a bunch of lag. Wireless redstone is currently only used by VIPs and admins and owners. Although I don't think VIPs even really use it. But it's very helpful for doing some intricate stuff if you don't have a lot of space. Everybody knows what Voxel Sniper does. Photofire is for voting and receiving diamonds. Vault is hooking up to, where is it? I guess it's not its own plugin. Essentials Economy, which is part of Essentials. And that basically, well, okay, so Vaults, think of Vault like the middleman between Essentials and F Economy. We have two different economy systems, and you can see that by typing val or money. Two completely different plugins. This is FE, and it reads our money in dollars, which the only reason we have that plugin is so that our script plugin, which is this one, which is also, by the way, my favorite, it makes it so that it can read a user's balance when doing scripts. So if you type a command, it could charge you and check to make sure you have the funds for it, whereas it couldn't read the dollar sign, which is what we use in Essentials. But again, I'm rambling. Sorry, it's gonna happen. Simple suffix is what lets players set their own suffix, just the /suffix command. Pretty basic. Although you can do the same thing with Group Manager, it's just a little more complex and intricate. And you can't really set your own, like if you're a normal player. It's meant for staff to set. Scavenger is what allows you to keep your items upon death. Quick Shop, obviously, is our shop plugin. This is a library that a couple of these plugins use basically just for the language that they're written in and some of their assets. I won't really go into that because you don't need to worry about it. No Cheat Plus just kind of helps us prevent people from spamming, from duplicating, from doing all sorts of weird hacking shit. Just leave that be. Although I will mention that at the moment, our admins are not getting notifications when somebody breaks the No Cheat Plus rule, and I think that is a permissions problem, which I just have not looked into. That might have been a good exercise for this video, but I'm already kind of dragging on, so I'm just going to try to move it along. Mob Catch is what lets you catch the mobs. Mob Arena, obviously everybody knows. MCMMO, everybody knows. Master Promote is what lets you buy your rank personally, or you could get it promoted over time, or if you had like a certain password, you could type like /pass and then type in a password and get promoted. Item Renamer is what I use to rename our items, such as like sand to beach, or give like dirt has Nexus specialty. just to add a little fun to the game. That's all I use. Grief Prevention, we all know. GP for grief prevention real estate is what lets you place down the sign and transfer and sell your grief prevention claims. And that does not have a config file down here, I do not believe. Nope. That's just plug and play. GA Listener is another part of Votifier, which handles, that's basically what gives you the items and stuff when you vote. We already went over FE, the economy. Essentials. Just think of this as one big clusterfuck of awesome. This is what basically makes the server work right. Just ignore that because they all get combined into one folder and one main config file down here. So it's not that challenging. Epic Boss is not really terribly used at the moment, sadly. Blue likes to write a few bosses, but I don't know how much they're used, to be honest with you. So if you wanted to write some bosses, you could Google Epic Boss Recoded and do some pretty cool stuff with that. I highly encourage you to do stuff with that. That'd be great. Engine Minecraft plugin is what gives us our sexy website. So you can see things like this. If we didn't have that plugin, we would not have any of this information. So that's what that's for. Denizen is what does our our quests, and currently that's not whatever. That'll be fixed soon. It's not working right at the moment because they haven't updated to 1.6.2, but that'll be back real soon, and I expect people to start working on that more. Custom server messages is just what sexifies when people die, when people join the game, just the message that's broadcast to the server. Creative control is what separates your inventory, what makes it so players can't break, when they're in survival, they can't break blocks that were placed in creative mode. That kind of thing. It limits what people in create can do, so if you think creative is too restrictive or creative is whatever, then that's where you're going to want to go edit, is creative controls config. Core protect. Craft IRC is what hooks us up to IRC. Pretty self-explanatory. Unless your name is Mexican, Captain Stupid, or Mr. Pro, you should not even be editing anything within the IRC room. Core Protect is our log, our block logger, and if you don't know how to do this, then you're a disgusting human being. But you should know that you can grab a block, do COI, and I don't know how long ago this was made, but I should be able to get some sort of... There we go. Oh, looks like Pumpkin made this not too long ago. She is a very sadistic person, I suppose. Look at that. Anyways, yeah, that's that plugin. That's your rollback grief. I'm not going to explain. I'm not doing a tutorial on that plugin. Jesus Christ. You should already know how to use that, but that's what that is. Bucket Speak is not currently working. That's going to link up the TeamSpeak server with the Minecraft server, so when somebody joins or leaves or types, it'll appear in server, kind of like IRC does a little bit. Clear lag, we all know what that does. If you want to change the intervals or change what it does clear, like sometimes people will, okay, if you edit the clear lag is a good example of this one, okay? If you edit some configs and you reload it, sometimes it'll just not work right. It'll just not read what you put in, but it'll read the rest of it just fine. With some plugins like ClearLag, if you have anything wrong with spacing, or if you type in a value that doesn't exist, like let's say you misspelled skeletons, or something to that effect, then it'll basically try to read the config when you reload the plugin. It'll say, this doesn't work, and it'll trash it and override it with the default. So when you drop in a jar and you start the server, it generates all these the default files, you know, the default folders and the default config files. And this is one of those examples of when you edit it and it doesn't go according to plan, it'll just wipe what you do. So that's a good point for me to get into real quick before I finish this list. Is if you are going to edit something like ClearLag, then you need to make sure that you take backups and keep them there. You'll see here we have old config. This is my doing because somebody else decided to break the config. So I edited it, found a working one, saved it as old config, and then I edited the new one to better suit our current needs. Basically, I just, fixed other people's wrongdoings. Don't worry about this at the moment. Citizens, pretty self-explanatory. Are NPCs. Chairs as well as you sit down. If you want to add, I think there might be a couple new steps or something. You could go in, edit the chairs config, and unless this is a different plugin than I'm used to, you can you can add blocks to the allowed list. So basically, if a block is on this list and you have it spelled properly, like its correct name, then you could right click it and sit on it. But again, besides the point. Async world edit, this is what makes it so when people are doing world edit, it does it section by section and it does it a little bit at a time, so it doesn't just like freeze the server when it's trying to copy like 1,100 blocks, you know what I mean? Auto message is what does the broadcasting on an interval. You're welcome to go edit that, but please be tasteful and please don't advertise yourself in there. And that's a quick rundown of those plugins. Let's see here. What else do we have on our to-do list? I guess we could do a quick rundown of Dropbox. So hopefully you're part of Dropbox. And if you're not, you should be. And it's looking a little messy right now. Somebody messed up my organization, but what's new? Let's say you wanted to start messing around with quests in the metaverse. You wanted to try making a quest, but you have never made a quest, you've never done anything like that, and you don't know where to start. So you go into metaverse, you go into, I think, developer area? Yeah, denizens, scripts, and then these are all of our quests so far. You can see Bloodbath has been taking a stab at a few of them. And if you know a quest that kind of has the same structure you want, then you could edit that quest. For example, Casino Teller, let's do Compass Quest. This is Hydendra. And you could basically just load it up and drag this to the right of your screen, bring up your browser on the left of your screen, type in the plugin name, and then navigate yourself to the wiki with all of the, basically every plugin explains how to do anything you could possibly want to do with it. They document pretty damn well. And in the case of Denizen, you can go to the script repository and find other people's quests, so you could kind of go off of. It tells you what it does, it tells you how to control it, and it has it right here. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into how to make a quest. I mean, really, guys, it's mostly just researching yourself. That's the moral of this video. Is once you know what you're doing in your basic navigation, which I have now shown you, then you are able to properly research on your own. You're able to properly ask questions to those of us who do know. If you ask me a question, I will not get mad at you in a million years. Not a million years. The only questions that make me mad are the ones that go unasked. And, I guess as a side note, if you have console, you're one of the lucky few to have console, then you can also do a little bit of stuff in console, luckily. Click on your server. If you were so inclined, there's a new feature where you could actually search for plugins and add them this way if you know what you're looking for, but I would greatly ask you not to add any plugins ever unless it's discussed with other staff members. Doesn't necessarily have to be me. I don't care if you change or add or do things without my permission. I actually really encourage it. I would love to log in and see some new shit that I didn't do myself. That's always been my goal. But just don't mess up the server with your own crazy ideas. Some people are like, ooh, I'm gonna throw in factions, or ooh, I'm gonna throw in whatever. No, you're not. So, MySQL. We do have free MySQL on both of our servers. Currently, the only one utilizing it is the Feed the Beast. I think it's Core Protect is the one that we have set up with MySQL. And basically, if you don't know what that is, it is. Let's find an example here. Core Protect. Okay. So on the Feed the Beast server, we don't have one of these. We don't have a database.db, and it's 2 gigabytes big. That is the history of pretty much everybody's block actions within the last, I don't even know how long this is. But it takes a while to scan because it's just one flat file. Imagine like an Excel table, if you will. It's basically like a little table. And it has to scan through that table as it grows bigger and bigger for the proper file, which can lag the server. But if you have a MySQL table, then for whatever reason, it just goes much faster and much smoother. But again, you probably won't need to mess with that. But what I came here to show you is that you can click on config files, and you can actually, if you don't have access to FileZilla or Notepad++, you can just kind of look through here for the right plugin if you're looking to do, say you wanted to edit auto message config. You click the config, and a fairly crude but working text editor will pop up in this window, which you can use to make quick alterations. But if you're doing some serious work, then I highly recommend that you do not go this route. And we also have the FTP file access, which will basically just tell you the FTP login stuff, and the password is just the password of console. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory once again. But you should not need this if you got the FileZilla.xml we were talking about at the beginning of this video. Fancy that. Alright, so I think I pretty much covered about all I needed to cover. Like I said, it's basically just researching on your own. Google is your best friend. I still visit it like at least 150 times every single day, and that is not a fucking lie. And if you ever have any questions, you can text me. If you don't have my number, just ask me. You can Skype me. There is my Skype username. Add me. Don't care. Or you can find me on TeamSpeak, which, by the way, you should all have. I know most of you do. But that is a great way to talk to everybody who's on the server at one time, and to discuss things in real time, such as doing plugin work. You could do that in the staff-only area. Not a big deal. Anyways, I think that's the end of my tutorial. This has been Mr. Pro, and thank you for watching. I appreciate all your guys' hard work, and go at it. Do whatever it is you feel like doing. Explore what interests you. I'm not going to push you in anything. Just go do what you want to do. If you want to do quests, go do some quests. If you want to do a boss, go make a boss. Do whatever it is your little heart desires. Just please think about the consequences of what it is you do. Be careful when you do some config stuff. If you think it might break or it's fragile, always make copies. And discuss it with your fellow staff members if you have questions or concerns. So yeah, good luck, talk to you guys later.